Where I'm staying, there is a shop full of rusty tools, broken tools, and an assortment of tools that are both. I'm capable of doing a lot with those tools. Of course, the knowledge that I have and the abilities that I have with those tools isn't enough to get me a job because it doesn't grant me the funds to get somewhere for employment. A lot of people have easy answers like, why don't you just carpool? Well, that would be nice, wouldn't it? First, you gotta find somebody with the same hours who can take you to work, because the nearest place to work from here that's not in Colorado is in Sidney, Nebraska. That's about 30 miles away, not quite, just short of 30 miles. But with me not having an ID, that costs money, and Mariana offered to send me $10 to get an ID. $10 is actually not enough to get an ID. Now, those tools that I have access to, they're not even near being able to replace the tools that I had lost or stolen. Not by a long shot. However, they're still tools, and I still plan on using them to make something. I don't know what yet. Now, I'm not willing to make weapons. I believe that that's wrong. However, if there is ever an armed insurgency here in the United States, I may change my opinions on that. We have an abundance of firearms in the United States, so chances are pretty good that if there is an armed insurgency, there won't be any need for somebody like me to make guns. Also, it depends on the insurgents. If it's a bunch of white people wanting to have an armed insurgency, no, I will not be on their side. If it's a bunch of black people for an armed insurgency, no, I will not be on their side. If it's a bunch of Native Americans, I will not be on their side. If it's a bunch of Mexicans or people of Hispanic origin, I should say, to be more politically correct, no, I will not be on their side. I will not take part in a race war. I don't care what race you are a part of. I also, I was about to say I would not take part in a religious war, but that's absolute bullshit. If y'all are willing to kill people over your deity, you are my enemy. The most horrible atrocities in human history were all committed in the name of gods. In specific, the most horrible atrocities in our lifetimes were all committed by Christians. And then when you bring that up to Christians who want to tell us how horrible all Muslims are, they say, oh, those aren't real Christians. Well, just so you know, I know a lot of Muslims, and they have some pretty condemning things to say about the Muslims who do terrible things. But the Christian community neglects that. Christians are the majority in this country. If they decide that they're going to kill Muslims, I will be on the Muslim side. If they decide to kill Jews, I will be on the Jew side. If they decide to kill people who don't believe in God, I will be on the side of the people who don't believe in God. Meanwhile, by my way of thinking, I am closer to Christianity than any of these other religions. Well, I'm closer to the teachings of Jesus, I should say, not Christianity. Jesus had a lot of great goddamn ideas. Christians twisted those ideas to kill people. There's a part in the Bible where Jesus is talking about all the people who are gonna die. I read the Bible the first time when I was 6, and after reading it, I realized everyone is gonna die. However, I have heard many Christians use that portion of the Bible as an excuse for the killing of people. Jesus did not say to kill those people. He never said to kill those people. And those of you who want to interpret it in such a fashion are going to hell. If there is such a place. Your book actually says that. Your religious book that you apparently have not read tells you that you will be killed. Now, it's a different type of killing, isn't it? See, there's everlasting life in heaven according to that book. And the other is death by eternity in Hades. Does it mention Hades in the Bible? Nope. I want you to look up the King James Version and type in the word Hades, Hades. See how many times that word shows up in the Bible. By the way, the Quran, which is the Muslim holy book, has an entire book dedicated to Mary, the mother of Jesus. For those of you who say that the Muslims don't believe in Jesus, they absolutely do. They even recognize him as a prophet. Well, you guys pretend that all Muslims are Satan worshippers. I like the Jesus. I don't like the things that people have done in his name. I'm not going to apologize for that. You can kiss my ass. Right now, I am walking by the railroad tracks in Chapel, Nebraska. I'm about 20 yards away. Oh, God. But I'm looking for railroad spikes. I plan on making a hatchet out of one. Now there's a distance thing that I'm looking at. I don't want to pull any spikes off of the railroad tracks themselves. But sometimes they get shook loose, or railroad workers, while doing repairs, will throw them off to the side. And some of them chuck them quite a ways. Right now, the brush that I'm walking through is about knee-high. And now I'm walking on some rocks. Oh, another train coming. I suppose I'm a little too close to the railroad tracks. You'll be able to hear this train. It's going to be loud as shit as close as I am. I'd venture to say, as it's passing me, I will be less than 20 yards away from it. fuck it, right? I started this talk as I left the place where I'm staying. And I walked to Pumpkin Pantry and over to the underpass, and now I'm on my way back to where I was staying, or am staying. I found 0 railroad spikes, but that's fine. There's always tomorrow and the next day. Also, I've been getting back into playing Star Trek Online. The whole time I'm playing, I'm having a panic attack. But that's part of the reason I play. However, while I'm playing it, I'm having a panic attack about playing it because it's not getting me an advocate, which is what I've needed this entire time. Now, there are people who have dealt with me long enough that they're actually qualified to be my advocates, regardless of the fact that they're pissed off at me. Like Miss Peaches. The problem is, Miss Peaches, through all of this, didn't understand that because of the term mentally ill, it doesn't matter how right I am. I need someone to go in with me in person, or the police are not going to do their jobs. I don't trust the police for good reason. I don't trust the FBI because they turned a blind eye. The criminal justice system in the United States is a joke. These police officers are victimizing the most victimized people in America. They're victimizing former foster children. And foster children get victimized by the foster care system, by the judicial system, and by the mental health system. This has been proven time and again. Diane Sawyer actually made a few specials about the things that I spoke up about as a child. I spoke out about these things as a child. And when it came out that they were doing this, people still treated me like I was full of shit. That's what the term mentally ill does for you. Diane Sawyer doesn't have the mentally ill tag attached to her head. So people will listen to her. However, she was from a different time in media. The media today didn't care about the truth. They cared about fanning the flames of hatred, and they did a great fucking job. The so-called media who claimed that they were going to take my story, they didn't. They misquoted me, as well as dicing up conversations that I had. Now, as far as Sword and Scale went, my interview with that man, Josh, the agreement was that they would only be allowed to post it and take my interview if they agreed to post all of it, which they did not. I can't take any of these people to court because I don't have any money, and that's what they all preyed on. If I had money, they would have thought twice about slandering me the way that they did. Fuck the United States, this place needs to burn. It's full of sheep, people who are too afraid to stand up to their own government. It's supposed to be a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. However, it is a government of the rich, by the rich, and for the rich, and nobody else. Except for the pretty, because that seems to be what rich people spend their money on. Pretty. Pretty is what matters to the rich. They spend their money on pretty cars, pretty wives, pretty houses. Pretty is what matters to the rich. And of course, more money.